Hello to all of you, my dear friends. This is Max again, and I'm coming to you on your screens from my balcony in London. Today in London we've got 19 degrees Celsius or otherwise 67 degrees Fahrenheit. It's quite a nice, relatively warm day, and I feel quite comfortable. It's a bit of an overcast day, but not very grey, quite a light color. And because it's a little bit humid, I can sense all the smells of the plants and the leaves on my balcony. I hope you are all well. I hope you have made yourselves a coffee, because we have plenty of things to do today together. What I want to say, don't worry if everything is not absolutely perfect. As I say, it doesn't have to be at all times. We can make it better, and we are together today to give an injection of life and color to our everyday lives. Before we start, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Make yourselves a hot cup of coffee to keep me company. My parrot Timo was talking to me a little while ago while I was preparing to set up in order to shoot the video, and I would like to start my 11th week update of my plants and of my cuttings by saying hello to my parrot Timo. So I'm gonna turn the camera around to show him to you for one more time, so we can all say hello to him and keep him involved into our company, and then we can carry on with shooting our video and getting on with our update. Okay, so this is it. This is him. Hello Timo, how are you? Timako, I love you so much. I'm shooting the video now for the 11th week update of the plants, but you are the main attraction, and I will always love you so much. I'm here, yeah? Don't worry, I'm around. Great, so this is it. Yeah, you saw his response. He's handsome. He's so handsome. He's amazing. He has a beautiful green color. Great, so let's go. So here we are. You see our first red rose bloom has fully opened up. You can see it. This is amazing beauty. You can see the deep, that's the word I wanted to use, the deep red color of the bloom, which is absolutely amazing. This is 11 weeks after we started the cuttings, and this is how we are rewarded for all the hard effort that we have put in. You can see the second cutting is also coming up with a nice red bloom. It's a red bud at the moment until it opens up. It's really beautiful and amazing. Somewhere there I saw a little small fly, so I squeezed it with my hands because we don't want any aphids or any flies. Now the more I keep looking, I don't see any other, and I keep watching them every day. So I want to keep the camera on for a few seconds so you can admire the beauty, the sheer beauty of this beautiful deep red bloom, which is our #1 bloom. We are going to get many others over the time, but this is something that is a call for celebration, because obviously it is 11 weeks after we've done all this hard effort to grow a new plant from cuttings, and it's all looking great. It's doing well. It needs to be watered and fertilized once a week, and she's doing fantastic. Beautiful leaves, beautiful bloom, red bloom. This color of the bloom reminds me of red wine, deep red wine. It's amazing, it's beautiful. I just love it so much. I cannot show it enough because it's my #1 success. Okay, Timo, I'm here. So, and it's time to move on to our Leyland cypress tree, which is doing beautifully okay. It's amazing and very beautiful. It's an evergreen tree. which means it's not going to lose any of his leaves and his foliage over the wintry months, and I'm gonna have some calla on my balcony over the wintry months. I have told you about that one, how I'm treating him. Pretty much once every 5 days he needs to be watered and fertilized, and he's doing amazing. He's so beautiful, and I'm so happy to have him. Look for some spider web, because in every different corner that I look at my plants, I can recognize sometimes some spider webs, which of course I'm destroying. I'm not gonna let them overtake my plants, and also you please do the same. Maybe the humidity of the atmosphere favors them, and they love to create webs around the plants. Moving on, this is third week of the yellow rose cuttings, because you remember the previous cuttings had failed, they had rotted, so I have created new cuttings and there is success. I can see new leaves, you can definitely see them yourselves. It's a bit steamy at the moment, so but there are new leaves in some of the cuttings. I haven't seen any new leaves on these two. These are two separate cuttings, but I'm just going to wait. 3 weeks is still early on, and we are gonna wait for definitely another 3 weeks. But we do have some success with this one, and we are moving on. Here we are with our orange rose cuttings. We are having a very good success. I removed the caps because they were no longer needed. Now these have become accustomed to the temperature and the moisture of the environment, and they are growing nicely. I'm very happy with them. So we have this one, 2, 3 and 4 successful cuttings so far, and I hope they go this way. There is a little bit of yellowing around this leaf, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I have watered them and fertilized them recently, a few days ago. I don't know now why there is this yellowing, but it might be part of the growing process, that some leaves need to yellow and fade away for new leaves to grow and for the plant to give his energy to growing further. So I'm not gonna worry. You see on that one I have cut off a little bit the yellow edges, and the more it goes yellow, eventually I will keep cutting off, and eventually I will remove this leaf. So we will give way to the newer leaves, which hopefully will be strong and sturdy and healthy. Yep, very good. Obviously the cuttings are very tender to begin with, and I remember even when we started with the red rose cuttings, the leaves had a deeper color, but it may have to do with the color of the blooms as well. This one is orange blooms, which is obviously lighter than the deep red blooms, so the color of the leaves is lighter as well. So I'm going to take it as that, and obviously I will keep fertilizing it and watering it as it needs. And we have here our mystery plant. I'm gonna lift it up for you. I don't know if you can guess what plant it is. I'm not gonna tell you until we see if the propagation is successful. It's been just a bit over 2 weeks, so it's early days. It can take over 4 weeks for it to grow new roots and start growing. If that happens, I will tell you what plant it is, but right now I'm gonna keep you under suspense. I'm not gonna tell you what plant it is unless you yourselves can guess it. We are moving on. Here we've got our dahlia. As you can see, she's doing fantastically okay. I'm gonna lift it up for you. I always keep checking under the leaves to see if there is anything untoward happening, because you remember we had the issue with the caterpillars eating away the leaves, and I had to spray it with a Provanto spray 2 times with 1 week apart between the sprays, because I didn't want to totally burn the leaves. So, and then after that, so it's just been a bit over 2 weeks since Dahlia had the treatment, and she's doing okay. She's doing well. I'm happy. Obviously it looks like she had a bit of a haircut, because after the spray with the Provanto some leaves dried up, and they were sheared off by the winds because we had a couple of windy weeks in London recently, so the dried up leaves were sheared off by the strong winds and I removed them, and also some wilted leaves I also removed. So now that has given way to a lot of new leaves formation, which you can see in the center of the plant, and I'm very happy. Also you can see there is a new bloom coming up, another bud coming up there, another 2 buds there, so 4, 5 here, and I have seen another one here, 6 over there, which they are gonna come over time, and another one there, 7. I counted 7 buds, with this one obviously being the first one. So it looks like she's surviving quite well the ordeal that she had. And also, if you noticed, I moved her. You see, this is what I'm saying. This is one of the old leaves that had dried up after the spray with the Provanto, and never mind though, I remove what I do is I remove the dried up edges, and of course she's growing loads of new leaves, so eventually she will take her own her old shape, and I keep watching her every day. And we are moving on to the petunia. She is beautiful. As you can see, she's a lot thicker. Thickened up. Look at these leaves. I keep fertilizing her once a week. Look at how big these leaves are, and all of these are new blooms which are going to open up, new buds. Right now she hasn't got many blooms. That side has many blooms. She hasn't got many blooms at the moment because I have dead-headed her quite a bit. She had some spent blooms and I removed them, but she's full of buds. So when they open up, she will look fantastically okay. She's already much thicker than she used to be. So the pattern is, she needs to be watered every other day, and she needs to be fertilized once a week. And she's already spectacular, but when the new buds will open up and they will turn into blooms, then she will be really astonishing. She will be very beautiful. I'm happy with her and with the progress that we've done so far. Also, if I see any wilted leaves, I remove them because they give more power to the plant. She's beautiful. I'm quite happy. We've done quite a lot of effort with the petunia, but she seems to be rewarding us with the results. Great, so I'm gonna move on, and here we've got, you remember where I'm growing the Aster New England plant, which started from the seed. It's a very slow progress. What I have noticed is that some of the older leaves that the seedling has grown are wilting, and then they give way to new leaves. Is becoming taller also, but in a slow rate, I would say. The moist is the soil is moist, is starting a little bit to dry up, so I'm gonna mist them later with my mister. It's okay at the moment, but it's gonna start to dry up. I can tell from the color. The other one next to it looks a bit drier. This is where I'm propagating the platycodon. So here we are with the dahlia cuttings. From the old stem cuttings, there was only one that was still surviving, but it still hasn't grown. I've checked it, it's still fine, it has not rotted at all, but I haven't seen any new formations from that one. But I have also added 2 new cuttings, which are stem and leaf cuttings. Here next one, you remember where I was trying to propagate the canna from her leaf, but it was not working. The leaf had started to rotten, and I think the problem was that we had some strong sun as well. So I removed the leaf and I gave up on my effort to propagate the canna. Also, it occurred to me that we can propagate it in 2 different we can propagate her in two different ways. One is by dividing the rhizomes, which is the root of the canna, or the other way would be, she is quite a prolific flower producing plant, and also a prolific seed producing plant. So what we can do is we can collect the seeds, which she produces loads of them, and we can put them in a jar with water and put them in the fridge, and next spring, if you wanted, you can propagate it from the seeds. Of course, if you divide the rhizomes, it's going to be a quicker propagation because the rhizomes are already developed and they will give you a new plant a lot quicker. But also you can use the seeds, so I don't really need to insist with the leaves of the canna anymore. So what I've done, I now try to propagate my gomphrena because I love my gomphrena and she's my lucky plant. And I'm moving on. This is where I was propagating the red rose cuttings in this smaller and more easily transferable pot, and two of the cuttings are successful. They have produced loads of new leaves, you can see inside. And now we're moving on. This is where I used to have, I'm going to remove it now, we don't need it anymore, the orange rose cuttings, but these have failed miserably. But never mind, I don't have a problem with that because, as you saw in the other pot, the orange pot, the bigger pot on the west side of my balcony, we had 4 successful cuttings. And this is, I'm trying for the last time to create yellow roses for this smaller pot because all the other efforts have failed. So I'm trying. It's only been early on, maybe a week, so I'm waiting for these ones. No problem, I'm still going to wait. I don't think I'm going to take any more cuttings though, because now we are approaching the end of summer and you know, beginning of autumn, and then in another 4 weeks it will start to be you know, the temperatures will plummet, and I don't know if it would be a good idea to do the cuttings. It's been 11 weeks for that one as well, and I removed the cap. I don't think it's any longer needed. You can see there is growth, it's still all green, all the cutting is green, and you can see there are branches that are, you know, jutting out of the main cutting. And I'm moving on to so I'm gonna leave this aside for the moment to my beautiful Gerbera daisy plant. See, look how beautiful she is. I'm so happy because I was so gutted when I had that accident with her falling over on my balcony because of the strong winds, and then after I reported her, she's doing fantastically okay. She has this bloom, she has this bloom, and there are several buds growing inside. I have seen, you can see here, there are a couple of buds there. She's doing fantastically okay. She's really so beautiful. And another one there. Can you see? I keep watering her a little bit every day. And she's got a little yellow leaf down there. Let me just remove it. We don't need the yellow leaves. Okay, this was a yellow leaf. You see, remove the yellow leaves because they give more power to the plant. So I'm gonna just throw it. She's beautiful. So you see, while I'm doing I keep inspecting all of my plants every day, but while I'm doing the video I can see even more details. So she's beautiful. All the leaves are doing fine. The lower yellow leaves, please remove them because they give more power and more energy to the plant. She already has 2 blooms on, beautiful blooms. See, this one is so beautiful. This one is a little bit smaller, but it's okay. That happened immediately after the accident that she had. And also she's got three new buds coming up inside. One is there, and we've seen the other 2. They are there. And we're moving on to the platycodon. So with that one, you remember I had repotted it, and I had trimmed it down a bit because I wanted to give it some more chance to rebloom. And now what it's doing is, you can see it's cancelling some of his old leaves. They are starting to go yellow, but what's happening is that it's growing new leaves. You can see at the bottom there, yeah, new leaves. So I'm just waiting for him to grow naturally. As the leaves yellow more and more, and when they become ready to be detached from the plant, I will detach them. Don't detach them prematurely though, because they keep feeding the plant through photosynthesis. So if you detach them prematurely, then that will affect the plant and its growth. So if it doesn't rain anymore, which would make the soil even more moist, so if it doesn't rain anymore, he might need to be watered in 3 days from now, 3 or 4 days from now. That's how I calculate it. Okay, he's doing well. If we are lucky enough to see any more of the beautiful blue blooms, blue flowers before the end of the season, I will be very, very pleased. Great. And we're moving on to my beautiful orange mini rose. She's doing fantastically okay. That's an old bloom. It's still in a relatively good condition. That's an old bloom. You see there, these are smaller in size. You see the new blooms though, yeah, they are much bigger in size. I think it's because of the good fertilization and watering pattern that I do. Here I cannot see any new buds so far, but I'm sure they will come up. So I'll remind you again, we have removed all the lower yellow leaves. I removed a few the other day when I was looking at her, and if it's something is yellow, just remove it. Yeah, I just saw this now, so I'm gonna remove all the yellow leaves. And I keep watering her every day. I give her just a half a cup, and I fertilize her once a week. She's doing fantastically okay. I'm very, very happy with her. A bit of yellowing lower leaves is fine, it's part of our beautiful plant growing, but when they become really totally wilted and kind of almost detached from the plant, you can then gently lift them up and take them out. Moving on to my beautiful cannas. Look at this majestic side. Look how much they have grown, how tall they have been. I cannot even reach over there. So beautiful new leaves, very, very wide new leaves now. You know, I keep watering the cannas every day, and you should do. And I fertilize them once a week. So on the yellow canna, we've got these beautiful blooms right now. Let me see that one. Yeah, you see, I removed one bloom. It had started to wilt, but look, it's still beautiful. Look how beautiful she is. Here is a little seed. It doesn't seem to be ready to fall out yet, to be detached. Beautiful. And then she's creating new blooms there, and also this is a new stem where new blooms are gonna come up from. She's really amazing, doing very, very well. Because I noticed this little hole under the plant, I don't really think it's a caterpillar, because I have only seen 2 holes, this one and another one down there, if you can see it. So what I did, I sprayed the leaves on this one. I have seen no holes, and today when I looked again, I saw no new holes. But what I did yesterday, I sprayed both my beautiful cannas all over the leaves, and from both sides, from this side of the balcony and from the other side where I'm inside in my flat. I just pulled up the window and I sprayed even from the inside, so that we would make sure that the spray would go everywhere. But I didn't use Provanto spray this time, because I've noticed that the Provanto is actually drying out the leaves significantly. I've seen it with my dahlia. It helped to kill the caterpillars, but it also dried out several of the leaves. So I tried to do it in a different way now, and I've seen online that apparently you can do an organic spray, not chemical, by using, I'll tell you how I do it. I put in my mister. My mister can take up to 500 ml of water. So I put 500 ml of water. I put 4 spoons, but not a full spoon. Like at the tip of the spoon, of the teaspoon, I put baking soda, but you have to do that 4 times, so it will be enough quantity. And you put it into the water. Then I also put 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil. I used sunseed oil, and also I put 6 to 7 drops of washing up liquid. And then you closed your mister, you put the cap on and you shake it very, very well, and until it all becomes one mixture, and then you spray the leaves. That's why you can see a little bit of white on the leaves today. It's from the spraying that I did yesterday. And apparently the baking soda can kill fungi infections, can kill bugs, and can also kill caterpillars. The mechanism of killing them is through the carbon dioxide that is released inside of them after they swallow the baking soda. And it's a way that you can kill your bugs and your fungi. Thank God I haven't got bugs or fungi, but I may have had caterpillars. Even though there is no destruction, only in 2 areas. I showed you which ones they were. But this way you can apparently kill your bugs, your fungi and your caterpillars in an organic way and without damaging the leaves of your plant. You see my red canna is so beautiful. Look, this is a new stem of blooms. This is a new stem of blooms. Look how beautiful it is. It's amazing. And then we've got this new stem. Blooms will come out from this stem. Another stem. So I'm counting 1, 2, another stem, 3, where new blooms will come out of, and another one there, 4. 4 in addition to these 2 existing ones. Yeah, that one. Look how beautiful this is, and that one. One more time. Look at this. I recommend this plant on it. You know, and the leaves now, because we've got a humid day, as I put them near my nose, they smell so beautiful, like very clean and very fresh. They smell like chlorophyll, which is a nice clean natural smell. Moving on, so here we've got our impatient. Look how beautiful he is. You know, I have done some mistakes with the impatient, and I'm gonna tell you now. You remember I was telling you at the beginning to water him every day? It was a mistake. Beautiful. He's amazing. A very good buy. I'm very proud of him. He has a mystique of his own and a cuteness because he's smaller. The cannas are very imposing, obviously, because they are so tall and with huge leaves. But everybody has his or her own unique beauty. He's beautiful right now, and I'm so glad that I have learned through my mistake. So I'm moving on to the begonia. So here is our beautiful begonia. You see she's becoming taller. She's got 2 blooms on. She had a 3rd bloom, but it faded. It's normal, it's part of the normal process. Have you noticed that she's becoming much taller? Let me just... Hello Timo, I love you, I'm doing the video. I love you so much, but you are part of the video. I love you, Timako, I love you, kisses to you, I'm here. Great, okay. So I'm going back to the begonia. So she doesn't like to be very much watered, and I can see from her reactions and the soil stays moist for about 9 to 10 days. So once every 9 to 10 days you need to water her. If you overwater her, she starts to droop immediately. She is losing the buds. When you see they are losing buds and you have watered them, that means you have overwatered them. Yeah. So cut down. So the begonia, it is well documented and well known that the begonias don't like too much water, and also I have seen it from her reactions. Like I have never overwatered her, thank God. I have never done any mistake with her because I always knew the begonias are quite a very popular plant, so information is very widely available for them, and I have known also from people that they don't need overwatering, so I never overwatered her and she's doing fantastically okay. She has very tender stems and leaves, but she's beautiful, and as she keeps growing she will become eventually a very mesmerizing plant. Already she's becoming taller because I've changed the watering pattern. So I'll tell you, so it was a mistake what I was telling you all along, that you have to water him once a day. When I first bought him, the temperature in London was around 23 to 24 degrees Celsius, which would make it around 77 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was quite warm. So even though the impatient didn't really need to be watered every day, and there was a minor wilting out of me watering him every day, still he maintained quite a good shape, and he was producing many buds. What I noticed though, there was a minor wilting of the leaves, and the buds were not opening up. They were taking really a long time to open up, and when they were opening up, the blooms would only last for just a little while, and then they would start to fade away quickly, which usually happens when you've got overwatering. So, but still I kept, because I am also myself a stubborn person, but eventually I learned from my mistakes. I kept watering him and watering him every day, until I noticed lately, as the temperature dropped to 20 degrees, it started to wilt more, and the buds were not opening up at all. He was full of buds, as you can see now. He's full of buds, but they would just not open. And if occasionally one would open, it would just fade away very, very quickly, like within 1 or 2 days. So I started to realize, you know what, I am overwatering him. So I changed his watering pattern, and now I'm watering him a couple of times a week. From every day that I was doing, but it was a mistake. Please don't do. Even in the very hot days, maybe you can water him every other day, but don't water him every day. It's a mistake. Now that the temperature is around 20 degrees in London, which we said in Fahrenheit is around 69, I'm watering him twice a week. So just water him a couple of times a week, or once a week, depending on how quickly the surface of the soil is starting to go dry, and also in the very hot weather, like when the weather is as from 77 degrees Fahrenheit and above, which is 24 degrees Celsius, then in that case you can water him maybe every other day, but not every day. Yeah, it was a mistake, and I'm telling you, please note, don't do this mistake again. He's such a beautiful plant. He is a very good buy. He's mesmerizingly beautiful. I love the leaves, long leaves, a dark metallic green color with a red vein inside of them. You can see even the stems of the plant are a beautiful red color and beautiful red blooms. It's mesmerizingly beautiful. Some of the lower leaves have wilted, which is part of the process of growing, and they have given way for the plant to grow and to become taller. So imagine when this begonia becomes fuller and comes even taller and provides more branches and comes up with more blooms, orange blooms, she will be spectacular. She will be an amazing plant to have. It's a very good buy. I'm very happy to have her. Here we've got our mister. I used it yesterday to spray the cannas. Here we've got my coffee, and here we've got my lucky plant. I love her so much. It's my Gomfrina. Look how beautiful she is. All my plants are beautiful. The dahlia was love at first sight. The impatient, oh, he's so mesmerizingly beautiful and such a good buy. I feel so lucky to have him. There is the only thing with the Gomfrina why I'm so stuck with her is because of her unique look and appeal. She's stunning, but she's also cute at the same time, and also she has a very good luck vibe, or at least to me when I look at her. Of course you will tell me the other ones, when you look at them, they don't give you a good luck vibe. They give me a vibe of happiness and calmness and beauty. Of course happiness, calmness and beauty are also good luck, but also not always necessarily. She gives me a reassurance, a feeling of that everything will be alright. I love you, Timaco. So I use different adjectives to describe. Now you see, this is a new bloom coming up now. I use different adjectives to describe each and every one of them, but you know, I don't know if you agree with the adjectives. You can also give me suggestions. Chose that area to take the cutting from, because I thought if I was to take the cutting from a very bushy area, I thought like that, I don't know if I was correct, maybe it would make kind of destroy the shape of this very bushy area. So I said to myself, you know what, Makis, take the cutting from a bit of a thinner area where it won't be so noticeable. She is beautiful, cute, casual and beautiful, and also a good luck vibe plant. And I'm moving on. These are the yellow roses that I bought from the supermarket, where I created the new cuttings that I needed for my yellow, because I'm just a little bit behind with the yellow rose cuttings. They are the only ones where I haven't removed the caps. Look, this is one side of my balcony where I'm sitting now holding the camera, and you can see the spectacular cannas and a little bit the depth of my street on the camera. But look how spectacular the cannas are. They are amazing because they are such a tall, imposing, they are very tall, imposing plants, and all of these leaves are just so majestic, and obviously they're bright colored blooms. Now when I bought him, he was not in a very good state. The leaves were wilting and everything, so I removed all of the wilted leaves. Now I have also removed, you can see now he's growing new leaves, so he's doing well. This is now into the third week of me having him, and he's already producing new leaves. You can see all the new leaves now coming through. They're beautiful, they're small, but they're gonna grow in size, so he seems to be successful. And also, a couple of days ago I removed the spent blooms. The blooms were very beautiful. You remember he had big beautiful blooms which lasted for a couple of weeks, but then they started to wilt, so I cut them off just to give more energy to the plant, as we say. So this stem is going to be successful, and this stem is going to be successful. They have survived and they are producing new leaves. You see now there is no wilting at all. For the first 2 weeks, as I said to you, I kept watering him every day, and I would fertilize him once a week. Now I'm not watering him every day anymore, maybe a couple of times a week. The only thing that concerns me is this stem here, if he's ever gonna recover, because when I bought the plant I noticed that all the leaves on this stem had wilted, so I had to cut them off, and now I don't know if this stem is going to regrow, but it's a beautiful plant. Don't look at him like that. When it will come up with beautiful big green leaves and beautiful blooms, he will be spectacular. I'm happy for my purchase, even though, and I knew when I bought him that he was not in a good state, but I just wanted to try and save him, and I love it. I've given you a very detailed update. I think that's why our videos on my channel, I hope they are interesting, they are of interest to you, because I show you every little thing that I do and their update. On the following video you see the update. In some other YouTube videos where some fellow gardeners, but very experienced ones, who are they even do it as a profession, for me it's just a hobby, where they do gardening, you know what I have noticed about them? They say, I'm gonna do this now and I'm gonna show you the update later. Then they do other videos about other things about gardening, and they might show you the update 10 weeks later, or might not even show you at all, and you have to keep scrolling through their videos to see where the update is. I don't like to do it like that. I want to give you an update every week of each and everything that we do, because this way the video is more explanatory. You know everything that has happened, you don't have any gaps, and also we have enough time to spend together, to keep company to one another, but also to share experience and knowledge and information. So we keep each other company, we share experience, knowledge, information and company. It's very, very, I think, helpful, and I think this is the uniqueness of this channel. So I just wanted to create like a little short movie channel where people will see all of my efforts around my balcony and my gardening, but they would also enjoy watching the efforts and hearing me explain each and every little thing that I do. So I'm gonna have a little sip of my coffee. The cypress tree is so beautiful and it's gonna keep its green leaf on all through the winter. So I'm gonna have a bit of color on my balcony over the winter, otherwise it will be very dull. Winter in London can be quite boring, dull. At about 4-5 p.m. it starts to go dark. It's really, there is no color around. It's me, I'm not a fan of the winter, I must tell you this. So if I have a little bit of color in my life and in my balcony over the winter, it will make me feel better. Also over the winter, like over summer, I like to go to the beach. I like sometimes to go for long walks, like I've told you in previous videos. But in the winter, I cannot do that as much because the weather is not so good. So I spend a lot more time indoors and on my balcony, but there is nothing to look at apart from Christmas, when the Christmas lights are on from the council, and they give a little bit of a festivity in the atmosphere, and they brighten up a little bit the atmosphere. When that happens, also I will record it on a video for you. So I would like to propagate the cypress tree after all of this introduction. So how am I gonna do that? You know, I've got this very small pot. It's a 14 inches diameter pot. It's a small pot, not like the big ones, like this one. Let's say it's a bigger one. Look, this one, where I'm propagating the mystery plant. This big one is an 18 centimeter diameter pot where I'm propagating my mystery plant. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to hug a little bit my Comprina. I always hug her a bit. Look how beautiful she is. Cute. I love you. You're so cute. Yeah. Okay, let me leave her down now. So what we're going to do? So we're going to use this 14 inches diameter pot, which is a really small pot, but we don't need a very big pot now for the propagation of the cypress tree. If we are successful and if it grows, then we will transfer it to gradually to bigger pots. And I had it in my kitchen in a lower cupboard under the bench in my kitchen, where everything is very clean. I try to keep all my cupboards very good and dry. There is no humidity. So I was using it before for a mini poinsettia that I bought last year, because this is my second year into gardening. My first year I made many failures, especially the poinsettias were such a very difficult plant and all of them died on me. So it was a mini poinsettia lying into that one, which eventually died. I removed the dead poinsettia, but I'm going to, it was a mini poinsettia, I'm going to use this now, but it has gone dry. So before I take the cuttings, and before I show you how I take the cuttings of my cypress tree, I'm going to wet the soil. So I've got here my cup, which I have filled it up to the index of 2 cups. This is a double cup, yeah. So I'm gonna start pouring water inside, and I will wait until my soil absorbs the water. You see, the soil is so dry that it takes time to absorb. Now I put my finger inside. I'm gonna clean my finger. So you see, it's absorbing now the water slowly. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna rush. So this way we will know exactly how much water it needs. If I was to pour all the water in, maybe I would overwater the soil. We don't want to do that, yeah? So I'm waiting for it to seep through. My instinct is telling me now. Hey Timo, I'm here. Hey Timako. I've almost used all of the water. There's still a little bit inside though. You can also put your finger inside and see how deep inside it has gone. You see all of the surface of the soil has become moist, but inside there is still, if I dig a hole with my finger, you see it's still so dry, because I haven't used this pot at all since my mini poinsettia died. I'm gonna put some water inside. Okay, now if you see here, I see some dry parts of the soil, so I'm gonna pour all of the rest of my water inside. Timako. Okay, now you see still there is a little bit of dry areas, so now I'm gonna use my mister. I've got my mister here. I'm gonna mist. I used a whole 2 cup and still the soil is dry inside. So I'm gonna do there. We don't wanna do the propagation in a dry soil because it's not gonna work, but also we don't want to over wet it. There is another dry area there. Yeah, that starts to look better. There is another dry area there. Timako, I'm here. As I keep digging inside the soil, I see more dry areas, so I'm gonna mist. We want to wet the soil, that's the point. Oh, I was looking to see if I've got my rooting hormone, the powder, but I've got it, yeah, it's here on my balcony. So you can see there is another dry area there. You see, if you've left the soil to go dry for so long, because this has been over a year now, it's very difficult to get it wet again, or at least very difficult. It takes time. Okay, look, another dry area of the soil. I'm gonna use my mister. Wherever I see dry bits, I mist. I think it's now all starting to go significantly more moist. Here there is a dry area, so I'm gonna mist. Here there is more dryness. I'm gonna mist. Yeah. I can now reach with my hands all the way to the bottom of the soil. So we've done it. That's it. So if you take into account that this is a 2-cup measuring cup, and this also take 2 cups of water inside, but there is a bit at the bottom. So maybe we have used 3 cups and a little bit more. 3 cups, maybe, and a quarter of a cup, just to moist all of this soil. Okay, now so we've moistened it now. You know me, I remove the dirt with misting the sides, but I'm gonna do it later. So now, acceptable and very moist at the moment. It does not need any more water. So we're gonna move along. My hands are in a dirty condition though, but never mind. Since I wanted to use the dry soil, that's what I had to incur. Okay, I've got a little bit more soil from the Gerbera. So here it is. Kind of, yeah, it's alright, I think. So yes, here it is. It's a nice quiet afternoon in London. Midweek afternoon, so I love it. It's actually quite relaxing, and we've got my Timo, my parrot, keeping us company with relaxing noises that he makes. Okay, so I've done it, yeah. So now we are gonna go and take cuttings. So just make a little bit of a holes inside, because this is where I'm gonna push the cuttings inside. It's okay. That is alright. So it's beautiful. Okay, now let's go and take the cutting. So follow me. See, I can take, maybe I need to twist that to take the cutting. I can take one cutting there. Can you see? One cutting, and I can take, this one is very weak. Should I take it? Okay, I haven't got anything to lose, I will take it. It's very small, but sometimes they say when it is weaker it roots better. I'm not entirely sure if it applies to the cypress tree. So another cutting, 3. Another cutting, 4. Oh my god, I had a lot of cuttings. 4. Okay, I think that's enough. We could also even take that one. It's a number 5. Okay, I've done it, and I'm gonna turn it now again the way I wanted it before. So we've taken 5 cuttings, yeah? Here we are, and let's go now. So now what I'm gonna do, these are the 5 cuttings that we've got. I'm going to inspect them very well, and we have to remove the lower leaves. So this is one cutting, yeah, of my cypress tree. That we have to remove the side leaf, the side branch. This is one cutting. So now I'm gonna dip it in the water first, and now I'm gonna dip it in rooting hormone. Yeah, and now I'm gonna dip it into the soil that we have already created. Yeah, I dig a little hole I'm sticking it inside. I'll show you in the end once it's all been stuck inside. So that one is stuck inside. I've done it. Number 1 cutting is in. Now this is another cutting. This is another cutting. You see there is there was something on it, feathers from the birds. Okay, this is actually quite acceptable. It's got many leaves on. I'm gonna cut off the dried leaves at the end of the cutting. I'm gonna reduce a little bit here. Now it's okay, I think. So what I'm gonna do with this cutting, I'm gonna dip it in water so that the rooting hormone sticks better to it. Now it's wet, and now I'm gonna dip it into the rooting hormone. Timo, be a little bit patient, honey. So now this is dipped in rooting hormone. So I'm gonna do a hole with my finger in the pot, and I'm gonna stick it inside. Stick it. If more of the cuttings are successful, even better, because we will have more cypress trees. They are beautiful anyway. I'll show you the image of the pot in the end. So now we've got this cutting. I think because this is the biggest, I'm gonna put it in the center. But before, I'm going to cut off the side leaves. Yeah, we don't need so many side leaves. So that's about it. Yeah, and now I'm going to dip it in water. And then now it's wet, I'm gonna dip it into rooting hormone. For a moment there I had a feeling that someone was behind me, but there was nobody. That's why I turned around to look. Okay. Great, so you see how it is. So I'm gonna dip it now in the center of my pot. I'm gonna do a hole with my finger. Hole. And I'm gonna dip it inside, and it is done. Timo, be careful. Now I've got this cutting, number 4 cutting. I'm gonna prepare it. So I'm gonna take off these side leaves. It's okay there. I'm gonna dip it into rooting into water first. And then I'm gonna dip it into rooting hormone. The cypress tree is stunning. It's beautiful. I love the deep metallic green color of his leaves. So I'm gonna dig another hole. This is the 4th cutting, and we took 5. Yeah, 5 cuttings. As I put them in the soil, I also press the soil to go down a little bit, yeah? So it doesn't stay too high up, and the cutting is not well wedged in the soil. So can I count them now? We've got yes, I think I can count them. How many cuttings we've got? 4 cuttings we have put inside so far. To be honest, I think this is enough, but I do have a 5th cutting, which is a small one, a very supple one. It might work even better, so I'm gonna put it in. It's our last one. We wouldn't have the space to put any more anyhow. It's a small pot. I dipped it in water. And now I've dipped it in rooting hormone. Yeah, so I'm gonna dig the last hole into my pot and put it inside. This is a small one. Okay, and I'm gonna show you now with my camera. Yeah, no, it's okay, I'm quite happy. Of course, with so many cuttings now it will be a little bit difficult to see which one is the successful one. So we've got one cutting there, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. I'll move a little bit the number 5 a little bit further away so we'll be able to count them. Yeah, now you can count them a little bit better, I think. So it's number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm gonna push the number 3, number 4, number 5. Now this way you can count them better. And we'll see over time how they go. Yeah, that's it. This is it. This is about it. It's a lot of work, the cuttings, yeah. It's not something easy. Okay. This biggest cutting is causing me most of the propagate plant because it's long. But the soil is nice now, it's moist and nice, it's not too wet. I can feel it with my finger. So let me count them again. So we've got one cutting here, 2 cuttings there, another one. This is a small one. Okay, smallish. 3, 4 and 5. Their needles are blending together a little bit, creating a havoc. Now one needle fell out, but better because it will give us, remove a few needles if you want to count your cuttings and make sure that you don't have a problem to remember them, yeah? Some side needles I removed. Okay. So now you can count easier. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Better. We don't need even so many needles because it might be a problem in the propagation if there is too much water escape. And let me mist just a little bit, because we don't want to make it wet. Okay, now it looks okay. There are no holes. I just want to make sure there are no holes. And I'm gonna pull them a little bit together just to do the last bit of the action, which is to put the plastic cap over them. Okay, seems like we have done it. Now I'm gonna mist it so that the soil doesn't stay too high. Just a little bit to mist it, because we don't want to make it wet. Yeah, that's alright. Also I can clean a little bit the size of the pot. You know me, I always like to clean. I don't like dirt. Beautiful. This was our video for today, where I've shown you all the progress, 11th week of my flowers and my cuttings. We are doing quite well. We had a lot of success with the red rose cutting. We are having success with the orange rose cuttings, and hopefully we will have some success with the yellow rose cuttings as well. It was the rose year this year. We'll see what other plants we are gonna do and propagate next year. And also now we are also trying to propagate the dahlia, the gomphrena, and now the cypress tree. This was a very long video today, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was actually nice for me to be out with you and on my balcony, because the weather is a very nice weather today, 20 degrees, 69 Fahrenheit, and a bit nice and warm and cool. And it's a midweek day where it's not very busy out in the streets, so it helped me so much to calm me down. And I'm always calmer and calmer as I keep doing these videos. I don't know if you have noticed it. Maybe at the beginning I was a bit more uptight, but the more I keep doing, I actually enjoy it, and I love the connection with you and doing the videos and being out here on my balcony getting dirty. And spending time with you and having my coffee with you. So that's it for today. Let me tell you my goodbyes. I hope you enjoy watching it. I hope it's pleasant for you. I hope we're having a very good time together and sharing information and knowledge. And and I wish you to love yourselves, love your plants, stay truthful to your body, stay truthful to your mind, and share the news and spread the word. Allow more people, family and friends to subscribe to my channel, and put a like, hit the like button under the videos if you really enjoy them. I love you. Kisses. I'm gonna see you again next time. Stick around. Bye.